Sorry, the video got cut off. I'm still getting loaded, so I got a little bit more time to talk my stuff. When you are around negative people and they start to drain you, negative is a more powerful energy than positive when you talk about science, right? Negative pulls. So something with the magnets. You ever see, like, they say the negative versus the positive, something like that. They say the negative is always highlighted. For example, you're a content creator and you might have 5 positive comments and you get that one harsh comment that you know is not coming from a good place. Because, you know, people can criticize you, but they mean well. But then you might have a comment that's like, oh, you ain't all that, bitch. You know, something like that, right? And you might focus on the negative comment and you be like, why am I focused on the negative comment? It's a natural human reaction to be focused on something that is a threat. So when you focus on the threat, it's more of it's a survival instinct in our biology, where we have to eliminate threats that can hurt us. So when you see somebody negative around you and you think that's a threat, your focus and your energy is going to be on them, whether it's to annihilate them or to tone them down, whatever it is, your energy is now focused there. This is why narcissists will still feel good bringing their negative energy around you and grabbing your negative supply from you, even though it's negative. They can still thrive off of it because their whole agenda is to thrive off of any type of energy, because they're a succubi. Narcissistic type people are, you see, the devil's trying to take away my voice when I talk about these things that are potent to people. You got to understand that when a person is operating off of dark energy, this is Tantanos energy. We have 2 forces. I always talk about this: the life and the death force. The death force doesn't mean you're dead. It doesn't mean you're dead. It means it's a force that is operated off of destruction. If you ever see those gangsters and thugs, when they go out looking for trouble, they go into their car to go rob somebody or do some devious act, do you notice they have a certain type of energy, a heightened energy? They put on they might put on some rap music. I'm not saying this rap is wrong. Don't take what I'm saying is wrong. But the rap song they may choose to resonate with may have like some type of destruction, like take a nigga out, go shoot him up, da 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 da. And that energy, it riles them up, and they're like, yes, I'm on demon time now. So this is still an energy. It's still a real energy, and sometimes that energy pulls more than the calm, sweet, soft energy. And this is why people don't fuck with me, because when I tap into both, I'm able to master both. I'm a Scorpio. We master life and death. So I will go deep into the depths of hell to save a person that I love. But I realize keep doing that and doing that and doing that, eventually it drains me. Somebody's pulling up next to me. Eventually it drains me. So just understand, everybody's not operating off the same type of energy as you. And even though they might be nice to you, it's a stupid... Okay, let me take this thing off. I hope this thing doesn't stop. Let me close this curtain, because the yard jockey keep coming back and forth. And people act like they don't understand that people, they make videos. Like, I don't know what it is about when you see a person making a video, they have to keep staring at you. Sorry, hold on a second. Okay. This one makes me lose my train of thought. Just because a person may be nice to you at times. I remember my sister that passed away. She had always told me when I was growing up, stop dealing with people just because they're nice to you. She said, deal with people when they treat you how they treat you on a consistent basis. She was like, when you see people in different situations, like when they're under pressure, or when there's some conflict. She said, look at those times and see what type of energy are they functioning under. That's kind of how you'll know how they really feel about you and how they operate. So I started realizing that I don't pick people, I don't be around people based off of that energy if I care about them. I'll just overlook shit. I don't have nothing to put this phone on. I need a phone stand. I'll just overlook stuff, and eventually that negative energy reaps its ugly head, and then you're faced with a situation. So a lot of times when you're operating off of the light energy, which is it's called ethos or libido. This is like a light force energy. It doesn't really mean spirituality. It's just a light force energy, meaning that you look at life as the glass half full versus the glass half empty. Now, it doesn't mean if you're pessimistic, it's kind of hot. It doesn't mean if you're pessimistic, you're operating only off of the Dantanos energy, but that could be a sign. It'll have to be other things that you're doing that would show you completely operate off of that. A lot of times when you see there's a lot of pessimistic people, there's some level of mental illness attached to it, like depression. So it's a whole bunch of stuff. A person that's operating out of depression may actually be operating off of the death force energy, the destructive energy, but it's not necessarily all the way. It just depends on what other stuff they got going on, if they're trying to battle their depression, if they're looking at positivity, things like that. If they try to live a positive life, then it could just be, okay, I was born with this mental illness and I'm working through it. You feel what I'm saying? Like me, I wasn't born with anxiety. I developed anxiety from being around an abusive childhood. Being in an abusive childhood, it developed over the years. After I became a teenager, it got worse, right? So one of my high traits on the big 5 character traits in psychology, I have neuroticism. So even though I have neuroticism, I don't tap into the death force energy because I have other great traits of flexibility, conscientiousness, agreeableness. I get along well with others. I'm not a difficult person. When you're around a difficult person and they have really high on the negative side of the big 5 traits, that could be a clear indicator that you're dealing with like personality disorders like narcissism, and they operate off of the death force. So when there's ever like some type of friction or conflict, their default setting is to go dark, to go negative, to go confrontational, to go vengeful, to go evil. So you have to pay attention to, this is why it's good to understand these type of things when you're dealing with people, so that way you don't put yourself in situations where you're like, oh, did I do something wrong? Did I trigger something? No. You would have triggered it in any situation dealing with that type of person. Because anything they do, they're operating off of that type of negative energy. So even when they think they're doing something good, the good that they're doing is based off of a negative intention, which would be the bottom line, and the bottom reason could be to fuel their ego. It could be attention driven. So if they're being nice to you, you're thinking, oh, they're a nice person. Bullshit. They're being nice to you because there's an intention behind it, which is to cipher your energy. Once they get you to get your defenses down and they cipher that energy, then you'll see the true intention of why they were nice to you, because then they'll flip the switch on you, and they'll become nasty or vengeful or mean or condescending. Mark my words, when you start to notice the pattern, you say, oh, okay, I see what I'm dealing with. And then you no longer have to feel the need to correct them, or the need to beg them, or the need to try to fix the situation. You will see no need for it because you'll realize what you're working with. And this is where I had to get to that moment where once you see what you're working with, don't pre-assume. Sometimes you have to go into a situation to really see what you're working with, because sometimes a person could just be withdrawn. They don't really know how to deal with people, and it may come off that they're nasty, but they're really sweet. You got some really sweet people that are just withdrawn because the world has been really bitter to them. I refuse to get that way though. Okay? I love people. I don't care how evil you are, how crazy you are. I am a people person. So at the end of the day, it may hurt me a little bit at times when I deal with mean people or harsh people or assholes, but I always recover because I love life. I operate off of the libido in this world. My mental, it's like, I don't know, nothing can break me. I'm not saying I haven't been devastated, okay? I've been there, done that. That's why I can help y'all get through some shit. I'm not saying I'm God or, but I've mastered how to overcome pain. I've mastered it. I'm not saying that it's not going to be some tragedies that come across. Oh, great news. So far, my niece has came out the coma. I cried when I seen that video my mom sent to my daughter because she was opening her eyes. But you could just tell she been in the spirit realm. When you see a person wake up out of a coma, it's spiritual. I don't know how to, it's like, because you know they've been on the brink of life and death. And I'm just so happy that subhanallah, that she came out of the coma. I was praying hard. Thank you guys for praying for her, whoever prayed for her. Because I was so sad, but she's only 8 years old. So I was praying hard for her. So when I heard she came out the coma, I just hope that it hasn't had any side effects. But she had double pneumonia in her lungs. She had pneumonia in both of her lungs. And my mom has not taken her to the doctor. She was saying she was sick. She was saying she's not feeling well. And they didn't take it serious. The people that were watching her, they didn't take it serious. I really feel like Child Protective Services should be involved in this situation. But at the end of the day, I have to leave it in God's hands. I don't have control over the situation. But that little girl been through a lot. All three, her two sisters, they're still going through crap. But anyways, that's not the reason for this video. Sorry for getting emotional. I am an emotional person. And one thing about me, I don't fake my emotions. I don't hide my emotions. I don't care who has a problem with it. I've always been true to my emotions. Some people will be like, oh, you're too sensitive. You know what? You're too not sensitive. Okay? So, I'm just playing. But when you're dealing with people, you have to know what you're capable of dealing with. So me, when I drop my defenses around people, it hurts me if they're nasty to me. It hurts me if they're plotting. It hurts me if they're operating off of dark energies, right? And then I'll eventually shun away from that person. But I will never stop trying to get to know a person or get to know people just because I might sense they could possibly hurt me. So you got some really sweet people in this world who will close themselves off from the world and close themselves off from enjoying people because they don't want to take the risk of possible being hurt or being embarrassed or being humiliated. But I'm gonna tell you, the way you build that resistance to that is to actually face that fear. Because I used to be shy when I was a kid. I had to face the fear of getting to know people, even with the threat of them hurting me. So when you're dealing with people that have like narcissism and personality disorders, they take on the motto that before you hurt me, I'm gonna either hurt you or I'm gonna back away from you. And they never get to truly enjoy life. They're always in a state of disbelief, fear, suffering, mental anguish. And that is their karma for always putting everybody in the box. They don't want to be put in a box, but they'll put everybody else in the box and say, well, before you hurt me, so that means you already thought that the person was going to hurt you. I'm going to put myself against you. So I'm going to war against you so that you could never hurt me. That's evil. That's of a dark psychology. They're playing dark psychology on you. So now you get sucked into this mental prison where you're not understanding, well, what did I do wrong? Why is this person acting like this? You're not realizing they're playing dark psychology on you. The more they can treat you bad, the more they can make you feel like you're nothing. Guess what? You're either going to cater to them or you're going to move away. Both of them is what they wanted. They wanted you to move away so they could say, see, this is what they do to me. They hurt me. They could play victim. So they both ways gets to cipher your energy. So the best way to deal with that is just don't deal with it at all. Once I started realizing that last year, I really started coming to grips with it. I just started blocking people. I changed my phone number and I was done with it. I was done with the people, and I'm still working on dropping people currently, right? So your circle gets smaller and smaller the more conscious and the more aware you become, right? Self-awareness is the key. And I don't feel bad about it. I don't. There may be times where I might be like, well, I do miss certain people's company, but not at the cost of my peace, honey. Not at the cost of my peace. I'm looking forward to making new friends, new family. Thank goodness for the pause button, because I be hate to see people blow their nose on screen. I should be getting finished unloaded soon. But yeah. I have to go back to my terminal to get the sensor checked. So that's going to affect my next load. It's always something, ain't it? I have a sensor that keeps coming on my truck saying that the temperature axle is too high or some crap. But they found out it's a sensor issue. So now I got to go back to the terminal after this load. And I don't know when's the next load or what the next load is going to be. But yeah, if you're still dealing with a lot of manipulative people and you just accepted that, chances are you're probably not going to reach your full potential in life. When I say accepted that, meaning like you're dealing with them. Like you're currently exchanging energies with them, meaning you're helping them out of a situation, you're giving them money, you're giving them love, you're giving them time. Stop that shit. Stop it. You got to get strong. You got to get more powerful. You got to understand your worth. If they not serving what you need in your mission in life, adios, deuces. You got to get to that point in life. Don't wait until you're on your deathbed, because them same people going to come and talk shit about you at the funeral. You did all that for them, and they still found some way to say that you wasn't shit. Because you didn't do everything for them. Okay? I got people now talking shit about me after all the shit I did for them. Talking hella shit. And most of it is lies. They might put one little truth with it, like, oh, she called me a hoe. She called me a bitch. She called me an asshole. So yeah, everything else is the truth. No, that part is the truth about you. Everything else is fabricated that you said about me. Because I wouldn't cater to what you got going on. I don't understand it. They won't fix their own life. They won't get their own shit together. Fix their energy. Fix their finance. Whatever. But they'll come around and try to cipher off of the people that have it abundantly. And then the minute you close off some of it to them, you're a holy ass bitch. This is what they do. Manipulators. It's all about getting under control, getting you under their thumb to control you. And they will work against your narrative. They'll say that, oh, you're picky. Oh, you're this, you're that. You think you all that. Your standards are too high. Why? Because you want to be treated correctly? Your standards are too high because you expect to be treated with respect. This is what you're dealing with. I remember my mom God is so good. She accidentally called my phone one time. This was years ago. And she was talking shit about me to one of my cousins. And she was like, yeah, talking about me. Yeah, she always got all these high standards and rules. And she thinks she all of that. So I was just like, it's better to have some type of standards than none at all. Wouldn't that be? The men that she's had in her life, and it was like a whole lot. I'm not saying, I haven't had men in my life, but she's had a whole lot of men. And majority of them have been perverts that tried to talk to her daughters, tried to touch her daughters. So that tells you a lot about your standards. So when I came around, and I would talk about it as I got older, I would tell people about the men in her life. Just trying to figure things out as a teenager, as a young adult. was called a nosy bitch, a player hater, all kind of shit. And now we come to find out years later, everything I thought about, everything I assumed or I suspected was the God honest truth. You've picked men that have a high record of touching people's children. Ma'am. But will try to manipulate everybody else to say, I'm hating on your men. This is what we're dealing with, manipulators. And then when you're strong enough to stand against the devil, they're going to come with all kind of daggers, all kind of death spells, all kind of black magic, all kind of bullshit to try to fuck with you. This is the death energy. Once you see it in somebody, run for the fucking hills. You know how many death threats she tried to come on me? Spells on my children, on my life. A'udhu billahi. But she couldn't. Because the light in me was too strong for her. But a lot of times what happens is people let these type of evil entities distinguish that light that they got going on. Even in relationships, a person would think because they sleeping with you and they entering into you, they get to control you. They get to treat you any old kind of way. They get to talk to you crazy. It's all a manipulation to put you under a spell. They'll find third parties to come against you. They'll sleep with other people just to see what they just to get you to go into the death energy. This is what you're dealing with. And you sitting up there, the good person, trying to figure it all out. Why? Understand it won't be any different if you try to figure it out. It won't be any different if you try to fix it. It's about siphoning energies. We are living on a planet. Here comes this damn y'all Jackie. I'm done, right?
I meant to tell you earlier.
Huh?
I said I meant to tell you earlier.
Oh, thank you.
I saw you earlier, but I was moving.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too, sweetie. Oh my gosh. That was a yard jockey trying to tell me how much he likes the way I look. Men or something else. That was nice though. He said, oh, you're so cute. He called me cute. Anyways, I gotta go. I just got unloaded. I got a boogie. I would love to spend more time with y'all. Maybe when I get off the truck in a couple of weeks, I'll do some lives. I was trying to figure out how I could do call-ins. That would be kind of fun to do too. But right now, I'm in hustle mode, y'all. Gotta save up some money so I could get off this truck. But love you guys. Talk to you later. Y'all have a good day. Be safe. Don't let those deities get a hold of your mind, body, soul, or spirit. Love y'all. Bye.